All right, we are in the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge. We're on 1-16, the student pilot. The first step in becoming a pilot is to select a type of aircraft. FAA rules for getting a pilot certificate differ depending on the type of aircraft flown. Individuals can choose among airplanes, gyroplanes, weight shift, helicopters, powered parachutes, gliders, balloons, or airships. A pilot does not need a certificate to fly ultralight vehicles. Basic requirement. A student pilot is one who is being trained by an instructor pilot for his or her first full certificate and is permitted to fly alone solo under specific limited circumstances. Upon request, an FAA authorized aviation medical examiner, an AME, will issue a combined medical certificate and student pilot certificate after completion of a physical examination. Student pilot certificates may be issued by an FAA inspector or an FAA designated pilot examiner. To be eligible for a student pilot certificate, an individual must be 16 years old, 14 years old to pilot a glider or balloon, be able to read, write, speak, and understand English, hold a current third-class medical certificate, or for a glider or balloon, certify no medical defect exists that would prevent piloting a balloon or glider. Medical certification requirements 1-17. The second step in becoming a pilot is to obtain a medical certificate and student pilot certificate if the choice of aircraft is an airplane, helicopter, gyroplane, or airship. The FAA suggests the individual get a medical certificate before beginning flight training to avoid the expense of flight training that cannot be continued due to a medical condition. Balloon or glider pilots do not need a medical certificate, but do need to write a statement certifying that no medical defect exists that would prevent them from piloting a balloon or glider. The new sport pilot category does not require a medical examination. A driver's license can be used as proof of medical competence. Applicants who fail to meet certain requirements or who have physical disabilities which might limit but not prevent their acting as pilots should contact the nearest FAA office. A medical certificate is obtained by passing a physical examination administered by a doctor who is an FAA authorized AME. There are approximately 6,000 FAA authorized AMEs in the nation. Medical certificates are designated as first class, second class, or third class. Generally, first class is designed for the airline transport pilot, second class for the commercial pilot, and third class for the student, recreational, and private pilot. A student pilot certificate is issued by an AME at the time of the student's first medical examination. This certificate allows an individual who is being trained by a flight instructor to fly alone, solo, under specific limited circumstances, and must be carried with the student pilot while exercising solo flight privileges. The student pilot certificate is only required when exercising solo flight privileges. The student certificate is valid under the last day of the month, 24 months after it was issued. I might need a new one. Student pilot solo requirements. Once a student has accrued sufficient training and experience to see if I can endorse the student certificate to authorize limited solo flight in a specific type, make, and model of aircraft, a student pilot may not carry passengers, fly in furtherance of a business, or operate in an aircraft outside of the various endorsements provided by the flight instructors. There's no minimum aeronautical knowledge or experience requirement for this issuance of a student pilot certificate other than the medical requirement for the class of medical certificate the student certificate is based upon. There are, however, minimum aeronautical knowledge and experience requirements for student pilots to solo. Becoming a pilot 1-17. The course of instruction a student pilot follows depends on the type of certificate sought. It should include the ground and flight training necessary to acquire the knowledge and skills required to safely and efficiently function as a certificated pilot in a selected category and class of aircraft. The specific knowledge and skill areas for each category and class of aircraft are outlined in 14 CFR Part 61. Eligibility, aeronautical knowledge, proficiency, and aeronautical requirements can be found in 14 CFR Part 61. Certification are pilots, flight instructors, and ground instructors. Recreational pilots, see subpart D. Private pilots, see subpart E. Sport pilots, see subpart J. The knowledge-based portion of the training is obtained through FAA handbooks such as this one, textbooks, and other sources of training and testing materials which are available in print from the Superintendent of Documents, the GPO, and online at the Regulatory Support Division, www.faa.gov/about/office_offices_offices/ABS/offices/AFS/AFS600. The CFI may also use commercial publications as a source of study material, especially for aircraft categories where government materials are limited. A student pilot should follow the flight instructor's advice on what and when to study. Planning a definite study program and following it as closely as possible will help in scoring well on its knowledge test. Haphazard or disorganized study habits usually result in an unsatisfactory score. In addition to learning aeronautical knowledge, such as principles of flight, a student pilot is also required to gain skill in flight maneuvers. The selected category and class of aircraft determines the type of flight skills and number of flight hours to be obtained. There are 4 steps involved in learning a flight maneuver. The CFI introduces and demonstrates the flight maneuver to the student. The CFI talks student pilot through the maneuver. Student pilot practices the maneuver under CFI supervision. The CFI authorizes student pilot to practice the maneuver in solo. All right. Once a student pilot has shown proficiency in the required knowledge areas, flight maneuvers and accrued required amount of flight hours, the CFI endorses the student pilot logbook, which allows the student pilot to take the written and practical exams for pilot certifications. All right. So we're going to hold off there. We're on a 1-18. Next is going to be knowledge and skill examinations. See ya.